Hello and welcome to Texas and Me. I'm Courtney Tadowski. 9,700 tons. Just think about that number. That's how much trash the Texas Adopt a Beach program has removed from Texas beaches. Texas Adopt a Beach is a tremendous effort aimed at preserving and protecting Texas beaches. Joining us now is the statewide coordinator, Adrienne Laut, along with Rob Glover, who's with Surfrider Galveston, and Cheryl Rozier, a Parks Board Galveston trustee and volunteer with Clean Galveston. Thank you all for joining us. Wow, this is a tremendous effort. Like I said, lots of organization going into this. Adrienne, I want to start with you. Obviously, there's the aesthetics of keeping beaches clean, but there's so much more to it than that.
Correct. We know from a lot of research that has been done that a lot of the animals that come to the beach come out and they will eat some of the items that are left on the beach. I did bring an example to show you. This is a vinegar bottle that washed up from the Caribbean, and you can see these diamond shapes are turtle bites. So that's part of the problem that we find with trash that is on the beach and in the water. A lot of times it will come down from the rivers, storm drains, any kind of flooding that happens. It will bring all of that trash out to the ocean. Our currents in the Gulf of Mexico are quite strong, and they're convergent. So they hit the beaches, and we end up with a lot of trash on our beaches just because of the way the currents run. So when animals eat these items, they feel full, but they're not getting the nutrients that they would if they were eating, other plankton, that type of thing that would normally sustain them. So it's also dangerous for people because you run the risk of stepping on something that could harm you. We have found hypodermic needles, we've got glass, that type of thing. So it is a matter of, safety as well as it is aesthetics.
One of the most popular beaches in Texas is Galveston. And Cheryl, that's where you really focus your efforts. You partner and work with Texas Adopt a Beach. Tell me about some of the things that you've seen on the beaches.
Yes, we've been with Clean Galveston working with the Texas Adopt a Beach since almost the inception of the cleanups that happen 2 times a year in spring and fall. Being about 32 miles of beach, we see all sorts of items on the beach that are collected for trash, but predominantly we see so much plastic, bottle caps, single-use plastic wrappers, plastic straws, and as Adrienne mentioned, all of those things, especially plastic trash bags, can appear to look like food to our wildlife, which is so dangerous. So cleaning all of that and making sure that that doesn't hit the beach and stay there is so vitally important.
And Rob, this is personal for you. You love the beach, and you're with the Surfrider Foundation, which is a worldwide organization that protects the ocean, waves, the beaches. When you see this and you understand what could happen to marine life and human life, what does that feel like?
It feels like we're just not being good stewards with something we've got. We got a beautiful resource, and not even from the aesthetic side of it, although that's the most obvious to everybody. Just to know the damage we're doing once you learn a little more, it's just it hurts to see that we're causing so much damage when it's so preventable.
And there is a lot of protection going on. Adrienne, you have a lot of coordinating to do as the statewide coordinator. Tell us about how this works and some of the initiatives that go on throughout the year.
Okay. The program began in 1986, and it was a partnership which was the Ocean Conservancy. It went by a different name at the time, and it is modeled on the Adopt a Highway platform, which had also started around the same time. And essentially, it brings together volunteers, and the volunteers are the heart of the program, because there's no way that we would be able to clean as much as we do, as often as we do, without them. Volunteers like Cheryl and Rob are integral to our cleanups. So we have three times a year we have scheduled cleanups. The big ones that are coastwide are in April and September. Our next one is September 17th. And then we have some smaller cleanups in February in South Texas, primarily because the weather is a little more bearable in South Texas usually. And so we have online registration, and volunteers, just come up. It's free to participate, and they can they'll get their supplies at their cleanup location. We typically have 20 to 25 locations where people can go. And then they can spend the morning, it's usually a Saturday morning, cleaning the beach. And at the end of the day, they can see all the items that they've picked up, and, just feel good about helping their community.
And Cheryl, there are certain times where there might be more debris along the coastlines, beaches. Can you talk about why April, why September, October, why those dates are so important?
Absolutely. We see on the coastline, especially in Galveston, as was mentioned, a lot of debris and trash washes down from our rivers and our streams, but we have a vast amount of trash that is left behind by our guests and our visitors. And that is higher after spring break, and it's higher after the Labor Day weekend, when so many families flock to the beaches to recreate and enjoy the outdoors. And so it is so very important for us to have a massive undertaking of cleaning our beaches right after those events, and also to hope to bring awareness to those visitors to please use a trash can and clean up after yourself.
Rob, we see a sign behind you. It says, "Hold onto your butt." Obviously, we're talking about a cigarette butt. Can you tell me a little bit about that campaign and how it fits into Texas Adopt a Beach as well?
Okay. Well, first, we've had a relationship. Surfrider and Adopt a Beach have worked together on for a number of years. The Hold On to Your Butt program is fairly new. And basically what it is we modeled it after one that Surfrider on the West Coast had done. People just don't, the primary goal is to make people aware of the fact that cigarette butts are mostly plastic. And they don't biodegrade. They photodegrade into smaller and smaller pieces of plastic called microplastics, which is getting a lot of press time now. People are more aware that microplastics are a thing. But anyway, we started the program a couple of years ago, pretty small. And the initiative was just to try to reduce the butt litter on the island as much as we could through a number of things. One is through this program, one of these cans, we mounted, we've now got 55 of these cans mounted around the island. And we collect cigarette butts in them, and then Surfrider volunteers go around and empty these cans, and we recycle the contents. There's so much plastic in the cigarette butt waste that you can actually recycle them. So we started that program a couple of years ago. Like I said, we got 55 cans now. We're hoping to get another 20 up by the end of the year. But that's not the biggest. That's not really the solution. That's sort of a mitigation or whatever of what's out there. The solution is to educate people and make them aware that butts are plastic. They're not biodegradable. They're not cotton and paper. They will not go away. They just get smaller and smaller, so smaller and smaller marine organisms can eat them. And then eventually we eat them. So that cigarette butt that you're throwing down today will end up in the water one day, and something will eat it that we will eat, and then it ends up in us. So that's kind of where the program is. It's, like I said, it's just about education and awareness, trying to teach people that these long-held notions of cigarette butts being okay to throw one down and crush it out on the ground is not okay. It's litter, just like throwing a bag of Whataburger trash out the window.
Well, it's a great example behind you of, the cans and what can be out there. And people should now recognize, hey, if you are going to throw the butt, just put it right in that box. It's just as easy. A lot of work is going into this, a lot of different people involved. But Adrienne, what challenges are you still facing as you work to clean up the beaches?
Well, as Cheryl mentioned, people that come to the beach leaving trash behind. we really ask if you just think about bringing a trash bag with you, that would do wonders to help in terms of keeping the trash away from, animals and other people that might be on the beach. We do try to we had some issues with the pandemic and recently in terms of getting volunteers out because we did have to cancel our cleanups. And so trying to get more and more volunteers out, making it people more aware of our program and what they can do to help marine life as well as our beaches, keeping them clean. Texans have a lot of pride on for our state, so it really would help for people to talk about it with their kids. In schools, we've got a lot of school groups that come out because teachers are trying to make them aware of it. So really just awareness is probably the biggest hurdle we face.
And how can people get involved if they do want to participate, Adrienne?
For cleanups, we have online registration for the September cleanup. That online registration will go up on our website at texasadoptabeach.org, and you can register groups, individuals, and we'll have multiple cleanup sites along the coast. So you'll just pick which site you want to go to, and then when cleanup day comes, you will get your cleanup supplies as trash bags and gloves. And it's also a great community service for students who need community service hours. We offer that as well. And it just come out and have a good time. It's free to participate, and it's again a great way to get involved in your community. We also have a beach adopter program, which is a little bit separate, but it's an ongoing program in the sense that people will adopt a section of beach for 2 years, and they pledge to clean it at least 3 times a year. So that's another way that people could get involved if they can't actually make those specific cleanups, our scheduled cleanups. And we also offer special cleanups, again, for people who can't maybe commit to being a beach adopter, but then also can't come to the designated cleanups. Special cleanups are at designated parks along the coast, and you just tell us how many people are in your group and what day you want to go, and I will set it up with the park, and we'll make sure that the supplies are available for you on that cleanup day.
And is there a specific phone number, website? I believe adoptabeach.org is the website they can contact, and the phone number?
Yes, it's texasadoptabeach.org, and our phone number, we have an 800 number that's toll-free in Texas. It's 877-TX-COAST, so TXCOAST, and either one of those will reach me. I'm the lone operator of both of those, so if you have any questions about our program or want to get involved, just contact us.
Okay, thank you. And Cheryl, I want to go back to these cleanups if you can physically be there. And they're happening sometimes rain or shine. So if you're out there, just be prepared for whatever Texas weather is going to bring you. But can you describe to me the before and after, whether we're in Galveston or, a different beach in Texas?
Sure. So before the day of the cleanup, Clean Galveston in Galveston begins to prepare. We stuff backpacks with the supplies that Adrienne mentioned, and we get all of our supplies ready to go. We begin setting up in the morning of the cleanup, about 7 in the morning, to expect all of our volunteers about 8:30. In Galveston, we have almost up to around 2,000 people that can show up on one of the given cleanups. So we're really managing crowds, trying to get them through the line and provide them their backpack and their supplies to get them out on the beach to clean up. Afterwards, we clean up, break down, and take our stuff back to storage, and then begin to gather data to give back to Adrienne's group through the CleanSwell app, which is the app that the General Land Office uses to track the trash through the Ocean Conservancy. And what's exciting about the app is that it can be used at any time on any beach. You don't have to just use it on the day of the cleanups.
Okay, and Rob, what are the results you're seeing from this? Where for people that might be surfing in the water or canoeing, boating, what are the results? Positive, negative?
You know, we have obviously it's positive because about our through our program and through the Adopt a Beach cleanups. There's less trash on the beach, and you know it is. Sometimes it's hard to see. It is such a huge problem. You know, you see there's places we have a lot of volunteers that will walk the beach every day, and they pick up cigarette butts, and they'll pick up a carton of plastic jug of cigarette butts, and they'll go back 2 weeks later and they'll pick up just as many. They'll fill it every time. So it's a problem that's ongoing, but it feels like you really are making positive change. It feels good to pick up a butt and put it somewhere beside, put it in one of our containers. Even if it goes in the trash, that's better than being out on the road or on the seawall or on the beach or the sidewalks downtown. So it feels positive. It feels like we're doing good. And working with these groups, working with Adopt a Beach and with Clean Galveston. By the way, Clean Galveston, a little plug for them. Our program really took off last year because of a grant that they provided us to get a little more, to give us a little boost when we really needed it. So thank you, Clean Galveston, by the way. And through Adopt a Beach, we're able to take these people. The awareness, as I said before, is really the biggest thing. And so when we make people aware at these events like Adopt a Beach, we'll see hundreds of people in one event like that where we won't interact with that many people, typically in several months. So it's good to get the word out. And that's how we're going to accomplish the objective of reducing litter on the beaches and in the oceans and reducing the plastic pollution is by getting the word out. And just like Adrian said, it's all about awareness. And so events like Adopt a Beach give us a chance, give us a stage, basically, to talk to a lot of people, and it's really beneficial. It feels good. It feels like we're making a difference.
Well, you obviously are, especially when numbers like 9,700 tons of trash. Adrian, I was looking at the website and I was looking at these amazing stats, whether it's, the miles of beach that have been cleaned. Can you kind of rattle off, and I'm putting you on the spot right now, but rattle off what tremendous numbers are out there? I mean, 9,700 tons, that's a hard number to imagine.
Right, and that's from inception of the program. So I'll tell you that much. Since 1986, we've had over 577,000 volunteers during that time frame as well. And again, it's as long as this program's been around, it's been all about the volunteers. Cheryl and Rob are great examples. We have other partners all along the coast that are anywhere from just a community member that wants to run the cleanup site that we have designated, as well as municipalities. We work a lot with the Parks and Wildlife Department and their state parks, as well as the National Seashore, county park systems, that type of thing. And all of them help in terms of bringing people to the beach. They promote it within their own communities. And it really has become kind of I get calls all the time. When is your next cleanup? And it'll be in the next year. They're asking, and we haven't set the dates yet, but we do have typically on average each year, we will have about 10,000 volunteers that come out for all of the cleanups that are in that year. And those are the scheduled cleanups. It's harder for us to track in terms of the special cleanups, as well as the beach adopters and their cleanups. So what we're trying to do is just make it so that people are thinking about cleaning the beach every time they go out there, and helping to keep it, just pristine as much as possible, because there's a lot of industry also tied into, the tourism industry tied into Texas beaches. So a lot of those communities rely on the economy to have clean beaches as well. And so, having more and more folks come out has always been helpful in that regard.
Sure. If a viewer can get out and help or donate, how can they do that with Clean Galveston?
Absolutely. Clean Galveston is funded through grant opportunities. As Rob mentioned, we have several fundraisers a year, and we put that money back out into the community and offer grants every year. So absolutely, we were so pleased to help with Surfrider's program. It is exactly a mission-aligned situation. You can always go to our website as well, which is cleangalveston.org, and get involved, send us a message. If you also want to contact us to organize a cleanup, we also support Adrian in that effort outside of the 2 annual cleanups.
Okay. And Rob, we've been talking about this for, about 20 minutes now, and we've gotten a lot of different ideas of how people can help. What do you want viewers to walk away with after watching this?
I think probably the most important thing is to know is just the awareness, like we've said several times, that a cigarette butt is not it's not biodegradable. It is plastic, and when you throw one down, that's litter, and that's just as bad as any. It's interesting that there are people that smoke that don't know that, and they will people that recycle will throw a cigarette butt down. They just aren't aware. So I think that probably the number one thing is to make people know that it is every time you throw that down, it's litter. It's not going anywhere. It's polluting the ocean. It's endangering the marine life and us. I just read something recently. It was a lot on social media, probably. Or a lot. It was on. It was. I know it made the rounds through some social media things, but it was a study done in Australia that said that we ingest about a Lego block or a credit card size amount of plastic every week. That's on average. And a lot of that is coming through these microplastic, through cigarette butts, and through a lot of the things that we're cleaning up through these Adopt a Beach cleanups. So it's kind of alarming when you hear it stated like that. So I think the biggest takeaway is if you smoke, don't throw that butt on the ground. If you can't quit smoking, although this is not a non-smoking program, smoke without filters. Even do some research. They've been proven not to really do anything. It's a marketing thing. Ideally, we could be great to get cigarette companies to quit putting them on there. Find other sources. Roll your own is suggested by a lot of people. It works. It's biodegradable. But so that's it mainly. Just awareness that butts are trash.
Awareness. And you talk about awareness. That's one of the other paths that Texas Adopt a Beach does help with. It's not just about physically getting out there and cleaning up, Adrian. It's also about educating.
Correct. We have some educational materials actually on our website that are available. There are some TEKS approved lesson plans for grade up to grade 8. And we also have a marine debris poster, which shows you kind of how long it takes certain items to decompose in the environment. And that is one of our most popular and most requested items. We have them in poster form, but there is an 8.5 by 11 version on our website in the education section that you can print. And it's really an eye opener with regard to how people perceive trash and in comparison to the lifespan of marine life. And we also, every year we do an annual children's art contest for grades K through 6. And it gives the teachers in the classrooms an opportunity to talk to students about marine debris and what they can do to keep the beaches clean and what's their favorite part of the beach, and just making sure that they become aware of these kinds of issues. And then we take those art contest entries, we do a judging, and then we create a calendar each year. And printed calendars are still very popular. And in those, we also have tips and informational items that help people, I think, understand kind of how we all fit within this world in terms of what we can do and impact for keeping our beaches clean and keeping marine life safe.
We're talking about people and organizations keeping the beaches clean. Cheryl, at some point, does there need to be some personal responsibility where we shouldn't need these efforts?
We always would like to strive for better and encourage people to understand the impacts they're making by their recreational decisions. We're going to stand behind the Adopt a Beach program and continue to support. But absolutely, at a certain point, people need to become aware of what they're doing to their environment. And we look towards the future, towards the kids, to help learn and maybe even educate their parents, so that we can eliminate and reduce the trash that's left on the beaches.
Absolutely. And Rob, we have about a minute left. When you think about a few years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what are your hopes as these organizations continue to work together?
I would love that one day, maybe in 20 years, that cigarette butts are not the number one most recovered item in beach cleanups. It would be great to move to number 10. That would be progress, at least somewhere below plastic water bottle caps. So I think it would be good to go to the beach and not have to, not only not to see the trash, but to know that through the efforts of Adopt a Beach and Clean Galveston and organizations around the world that are promoting this, that we're going to live healthier lifestyles. Our beaches are going to be healthier, our oceans are going to be healthy, and we're going to be living healthier lifestyles because we're not endangering ourselves and the planet with the pollution. So I think it'd be great to think in 20 years we've made, I think about what we've done, that's 9,700 tons of trash and however long Adopt a Beach is doing it. We've recycled over 90,000 cigarette butts in the last couple of years. So, that number just grows and grows and grows. It's got to be better. It's got to be healthier. We got to be doing the planet some good. And that would feel good.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. Adrian, Cheryl, Rob, all your efforts with Texas Adopt a Beach, Clean Galveston, Surfrider, thank you for what you're doing. If you would like to donate, again, the website, texasadoptabeach.org. You can learn more about how you can get involved to help clean up Texas beaches. That's all we have for this edition of Texas and Me. We'll see you next time.